All right, so today we are going to be covering an off Canva menu, and this time this is going to be made with GSAP. I have an older one, which I feel like it's still nice. If you don't want to use GSAP, that is good enough, but I felt like I wanted something a little bit more, how to call it, smoother, fancier, and this one is an upgrade. So we are going to be utilizing GSAP. As I said earlier, we are going to have two versions of it. One is going to feature the WordPress menu widget, and the second one is going to feature the icon list. And I have tried them both to show you how you can edit the entry and exit animation of both, because it's a little bit different. And you can use this according to your use case. Some of you were asking in the comments of my older off Canva video, how can you add sub menus to the icon list? You can't. So that's why I have utilized the WordPress menu in one of the versions, because with the WordPress menu you can add sub menus. If you'd like to support this channel and if you're planning on getting Elementor Pro, please do through the link in the description below. Also, if you're wondering if this is good for SEO and Google and all of that, well, it is, because you can choose what HTML tag you want your menu to be. It can be a div, but in this case, we want it to be an nav. So that can be done in Elementor. So don't worry. Okay, that is a lot of information. So let's get started. All right, so we are going to start by adding a container. And this container is going to be full width, and we're going to leave the minimum height to be nothing here. Don't even add zero, nothing. All right, so let's set the direction horizontal, because in this case we want to add a logo on one side and the burger menu on the other side. So we want this to sit horizontally, and also justify content, and they will have space between them. All right, and that's it for now. What I'm going to do is add the logo widget, the site logo. All right, it's a bit too big. Let's adjust alignment left, percentage 25, and I will also add a Z index of 1000. For now, I'm not going to do anything else. We might have to do a little bit of adjusting here and there, but for now it's going to be this. All right, let's focus on adding our elements, and then we can style more and more. All right, in this container, I am also going to add an HTML tag. And this HTML tag will contain the burger menu structure, HTML structure. And this is the structure of the burger menu. As you can see, we have some classes here. These classes will be added to the GSAP code. So if you want to change the classes here, make sure that you change them in the GSAP code and vice versa. I am going to add a little bit of CSS code in the container here. This will not take effect immediately. We still need to add some more CSS code to make sense. All right, so let's go to advanced, custom CSS, and drop this here. Nothing actually really happened, but we need to add it anyway. So we're going to take it step by step. So in this container, I'm going to be adding our overlay, and this overlay is actually the nav element, the nav bar, the holder of the menu, and everything else that you want to add on this of Canva menu. Let's drop it in here. This is going to be full width, 100% VH, because we wanted to take the whole width and height of the page as we trigger it. Okay, and I'm going to give this a class of overlay. Again, you can name it whatever you want. As you can see, now things have changed, because if you go in the parent container, and you remember we just pasted some CSS, as you see, we have these values and properties and values that are giving the overlay a different position on the Canva on our page. All right, I'm not going to get too much into explaining this, but this is how it is. All right, so I am going to give this an index of 9,999, because we want this to be on top of all the elements that we have on the page. So we don't want anything to come through the menu, right? It wouldn't look very nice. And if you have watched the whole intro, you remember I was talking about changing the structure or the name of the HTML tag of this container. And because it's a nav and we want Google to recognize it as a nav, we are going to set the HTML tag to be a nav. Easy peasy, right? We can also set the overflow hidden. I usually do this. I will actually do, if it's enough if you do it on the parent container, so you don't have any issues with any overflows. That's just what I do usually, but when I'm filming, sometimes I just forget this kind of details. Anyway, I'm gonna publish this, and although you don't necessarily need another container in this container to have the menu, the button and the social media icons, but if you want to add another element on this menu, you will need it. All right, so let's drop another container in here. And we can start adding our icon list, the button, and I will just go for icon list. Boom. Let me just copy paste the button as well as the social media elements, because that's just super easy to edit, right? Or to style. And let's go a little bit to the button. Because I have copied them, I already have them set up with a certain class. And this class will be shown in the GSAP code. So if you are going to change the class here, you will have to change it everywhere in the GSAP code where you see it. So it's on the button, it's on the social icons, and this class triggers the animation. So if you don't have this class on the button and on the icons, for example, on the social media icons, then these two elements will be static on the overlay. So when the overlay comes in and the icon list elements rolled in, then you will see this just static there on the page from the start. I know this is a bit confusing, but you can test it out without the class and you will see what I mean. All right, let's publish. And we need to do a little bit of work on these icon list items. So I'm going to call this home. I'm just going to remove all the icons, yeah, because we don't need them. You can add icons if you want. I'm gonna say oops about contact and let's say services. All right, so we can add, let's add some internal links. I have no idea, surprise, surprise, what I'm gonna get. Oops, not this. Let's add the 3D to see how it will look when you click on one of these links, how the menu reacts and what happens. All right. Oh God, every single time. Okay, internal URL, content, I don't know. Lenny's over text. Okay. I guess 2 are enough. All right, I'm not gonna bore you with this. I'm gonna publish, and now let's style it a little bit because this is super important, right? Since we don't see it, I mean, you could actually remove the overlay icon class from here, and you can see how they look. And I kind of recommend you do that. Oh, and because I just realized, because I forgot to set the background type to color black. Now we have it black. All right, let's publish. So I'm going to style this. All right, so I am using a custom font here. So I already have it in my Elementor in my backend. Let's set this to, I think 13. It's good enough. 700. It's going to be big. And transform uppercase. Let's publish a bit, and the color, and I am going to set the color to something else, not this. this though. You can't really tell, but it doesn't matter. All right, so yeah, it's a little bit kind of too much space in between, right? So we are also going to change this to have less space, okay? And it's going to be EM 0.8. I think that's good enough. All right, publish. And we still have some work to do because it doesn't really look that good. All right, we're gonna give some padding. Top 100, 100 right, 100 left. I mean, right, we don't necessarily need it. Publish. And it's pretty good, right? Okay, I like this red, so I'm going to go, let's see what it is. Red, okay. So let me go to the icon list, go to style, go to text, go to hover, and let's change the color to red on hover. Very nice. And also I have a little thing. So I have an effect. I did this, I think, on the off Canva menu old video, where when you hover over the text, the letters kind of expand, and it's a very nice effect. So I'm gonna do that, and I will explain something else to you. All right, let me go to advanced in the icon list and drop it in here. Yeah, it's very nice. I think it might be too much, maybe 5 pixels or 8. Yeah. On the other hand, if you go to style and you set the letter spacing in here to 8, nothing happens anymore. Yeah, let's say 5, still nothing. I cannot explain why this interacts. If you know, let me know. Maybe we can fix it because it's a very nice effect. And this font needs some space, letter spacing. It's a little bit too condensed, unless we change the weight. Maybe this, because it makes it a little bit less legible, right? If it's so condensed. Still very nice looking. I love it. But yeah, this is the problem. Super, super nice when you hover over. I mean, you can still tell what every word means or says, what every word reads. But anyway, okay. So let me have everything set to center. We could also, yes, I think this would be okay. It is at the center. And we will see how this is going to look on the overlay entry. All right, I'm gonna publish. I'm gonna go and set back my overlay class. Publish again. And I think we're ready to add our HTML code. So I'm just going to drop in my HTML code, including my code that it is in it. And let's publish. And we need to add some CSS code because, as you can see, the menu here is still not looking the way we want it to look. So let's go in the parent container, the one that is holding our HTML widget, and drop it in here. And voila, how beautiful. All right, let's just have a quick look and see what is happening. All right, we need to adjust the margins, the padding around the logo, but let's see. Yeah, we need to give the logo and the menu a little bit more z-index, because as you remember, we said 1,000, but our overlay has 9,999. So we could go up to 10,000 in this case. So let's first give this some margin, top 10 and probably left 10 should be enough. Yeah, I think it's quite okay, more or less is the same. And let's add another 0 here and another 0 here. All right, let's publish. And voila, right? Super, super duper nice. Yes, and as you can see the mouse on it showing that it's clickable. Only on these two, because only these two have links. If you remember, I've set the links only on those two. All right, so this the container that holds our menu is 100%. That's why you see until here you can hover over and then the menu reacts. You could make it even smaller. You can make it contained quite to this area, unless you have words that are quite big. All right, now let's close the menu. And that's it. Let's open it again and close it. And let's open it and let's see what happens when we click on one of these links. And okay, because I don't have the menu on this page, let me just go back. And you might be wondering, how come we get this nice intro, outro kind of curtain look, right? So I set it in transitions and I made sure that it's the same color as the background, so it looks like it's transitioning with the menu. So let's go in site settings and you go to page transitions. And as you can see, I set the color, the same color of the background, right? And this is sliding down, slide in down, slide out up, and set at 1500 milliseconds. And that's it. And it makes it look like it's part of the menu, but it's not. If you don't want it, you can turn it off. You set it to none, save changes, and let's see what happens in this case. All right, the usual, let's go. And it just has this choppy kind of transition. If you don't want that, then you can do what I did. All right, let's have a look at our GSAP code. As you can see, I have added the Elementor icon list text class right here, and this is what makes our icon lists animate the way it animates, one by one, right? So I have it here, here, and here. And if you remember, I said that if you want this class to be changed, the name of this class to be changed, you have to change it here as well as here. And we also have a different class here that I have not mentioned yet, and this is part of an extra add-on to this menu, and that is an image on the right side. And I can add that right now. That's why I said that we need two containers here. So I am going to add another container in this container. And this container will hold our image. So I'm going to add an image widget, and let's add, I don't know, let's add this in there. And I'm gonna set the height of the image to be 75 VH and have it as object fit cover. All right. Okay, so we don't see anything right now. All right, so let's set the container that is holding these two containers. Let's set it to direction horizontal. And also we need to change the size of this children containers. So let's first set them to full width and full width, and each is going to be 45% and 45%. So I'm going to set a class on this image, and it's going to be image text. Publish, and let's see what we did. I guess we need to make some adjustments here. All right, so let's arrange all these elements to be aligned center. Let's have another look. I think this is pretty good, right? Let's do it again. Let's go to the about page. Don't know what it is. All right, okay. Let's go back. And boom. And that's how it's done. All right, let's go to our GSAP code again. And what is non-negotiable here, and you should not change, is this class. This class is set. This class is for the icon list elements. And if you don't have this set here, or you set something else, your own, it's not going to work. This is specific and needs to stay the way it is. Then this class here and this class here, you can change. As I said, this class belongs to the button and to the social media icons, and this one belongs to the image. All right. And also you can change them here accordingly. Here, this is the name of our overlay nav. You can change it here if you want. All right, so now let's go a little bit in the code for the WordPress menu. Okay, so basically it's more or less the same design wise, but let's see, it's not really styled. It's very random, but as you can see, this is how it works, right? But it's a little bit slower in leaving the page once you click on the burger menu. But that's not really that important, because if you click on the item of the menu, it will take you immediately there. All right, so let's go a little bit to the HTML code, to the GSAP code. And as you can see, I have added here a class to the menu. Let's go to see where the menu is. WordPress menu, yeah? And you can add whatever class you want here. You don't have to specifically mention the class that it is given by default in the code WordPress or Elementor, sorry. You can use your own class. So this is the only difference compared to the other version of the menu. And it's pretty simple, right? And if you want to add an image here as well, you can do so as in the other code. All right, I will have templates for these two menus. They will be mobile responsive, and you can download them from the OWO shop. If you'd like to see what else you can build with Elementor, watch this playlist here or here. And if you have gotten any value out of this video, please consider subscribing, liking, and sharing this video, and I'll see you next time.